Want to join the six-figure club? Google and other tech companies are hiring hundreds of thousands of workers in non-coding positions. Over 400 of the hottest technology companies are ready to hire for tech sales and customer success roles, and have partnered with SB Academy to help you land a job. Here's what you need to know about SB Academy. We'll get you job ready in just 4 weeks. You'll start at $75,000 or more. You pay nothing. That's right, nothing if you don't get the job.
First verdict form I have is the state of Georgia versus Travis McMichael. Mr. McMichael, please stand. Verdict is as follows. In the Superior Court of Glenn County, state of Georgia, the state of Georgia versus Travis McMichael, case number CR 000433. Jury verdict form. Count 1, malice murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Travis McMichael, guilty. I'm going to ask that whoever just made an outburst be removed from the court, please. As this court has indicated, I ask that there be no outbursts in the court, and I expect as much from the gallery. Please respect the court's desire for this as we move forward. If you feel like you need to make a comment or otherwise demonstrate with respect to the verdict, I do ask that you step out of the courtroom now. Count 2, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Travis McMichael, guilty. Count 3, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Travis McMichael, guilty. Count 4, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Travis McMichael, guilty. Felony murder. Count 6, aggravated assault. We, the jury, find the defendant, Travis McMichael, guilty. Count 7, aggravated assault. We, the jury, find the defendant, Travis McMichael, guilty. Count 8, false imprisonment. We, the jury, find the defendant, Travis McMichael, guilty. Count 9, criminal attempt to commit a felony. We, the jury, find the defendant, Travis McMichael, guilty. Dated this 24th day of November, 2021, signed by the foreperson.
So what they're doing is they're reading off the guilty verdicts of the 3 guys who killed Ahmaud Arbery, and we just listening to it right now. So, you know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about it in a second, but I'm waiting for all y'all to get in here. When y'all get in here, drop a comment. Let me know where y'all from. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to get to y'all in a second. I just want to give people time enough to get in here, and I also want to listen to these charges so we all know what they was charged with.
Let's see.
Or convicted of.
As to Gregory McMichael.
Because all of them get convicted of the same thing. One of them got convicted of malice.
Glenn County.
Murder with malice.
State of Georgia versus Greg McMichael. Case number CR 20000433. Jury verdict form. Count 1, malice murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, not guilty. Count 2, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty. Count 3, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty. Count 4, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty. Count 5, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty. Count 6, aggravated assault. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty. Count 7, aggravated assault. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty. Count 8, false imprisonment. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty. Count 9, criminal attempt to commit a felony. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty. This 24th day of November, 2021, signed by the foreperson. As to William R. Bryan. In the Superior Court of Glenn County, State of Georgia versus William R. Bryan, case number CR 2000433, jury verdict form. Count 1, malice murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, not guilty. Count 2, felony murder.
Okay, so William Bryan didn't get convicted of malice murder. So what that means is they're trying to say that he didn't maliciously, he didn't do it whatever he did with the intent to maliciously kill him. You see what I'm saying? The son got convicted of maliciously killing him, which means the son intended on killing him. That's what they're trying to say. And I don't necessarily agree with them not getting charged with malice murder, but I do kind of see where they're coming from.
The jury find the defendant, William R. Bryan, not guilty. Count 3, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, guilty. Count 4, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, guilty. Count 5, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, guilty. Count 6, aggravated assault. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, not guilty.
So, with cases like these, we done seen cases like this for years. Our parents was fighting against this type of situation, against this type of systemic racism. Our grandparents were fighting against this type of systemic racism, and it's just been going on and on. These little cases, these cases like this are landmark cases in changing the tide for minorities and the way that this country has in the past done business. Does it change everything? No. But does it send a message? Yes. If it deters one person who was living like this, who feel this way towards minorities or people with color, it's positive. It won't stop it all because we know that it's a system. You know what I'm saying? Now it is a system. This ain't conspiracy theory or nothing like that. It is a system. We had Jim Crow. We had certain laws that was made up back in the days that's still on the books. That's still these certain laws. One second. These certain laws do infringe on the rights and benefits of minorities or people with color, and it's up to us to fight because we're adults now. It's up to us to fight against this type of systemic racism, and this is what this case landmarks. It landmarks a blow to the face of systemic racism. That's what this case signifies. Although we lost one also with the Rittenhouse case, I mean, we got to take these wins as they come. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be all right away, but it's a process. Our grandparents knew this, our great-grandparents knew this, and our parents knew this. And this new generation, they know this too. They fighting hard as well for change. So kudos to them.
Count 7, aggravated assault. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, guilty. Count 8, false imprisonment. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, guilty. Count 9, criminal attempt to commit a felony. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, guilty. Signed this 24th day of November by the foreperson. Go ahead, MC. Court having read the verdicts and accepted the verdicts.
Yeah, they tried to play the police. And I'm going to tell you how they tried to play the police. They tried to play the police because they had connections inside the police station. As we know, the father was a member of law enforcement at one point, and they were so used to the privilege and the community that they had developed was of people who had like minds, like them. And what happens is, they begin to have a sense of invincibility, and that's why these crimes like this become brazen. I'm pretty sure that's not the only time that they have behaved in this manner. This was just the thing that alerted everybody to what was going on in that area and with that community, and with the police department, as far as like how they was aiding and this type of systemic racism. You see what I'm saying? And we all know that in America, this place wasn't built on the fundamental rights that they said it was built on. It was built on the fundamental rights for a few, but not for everybody. And that's what was sold. That what was sold to the world about America. And at one point, it was you could come to America and you could work and you could make something of yourself, and you could still do that to a certain extent now with a lot of entrepreneurship. But what I'm saying is, you can't work for somebody nowadays in America and become rich. You have to be an entrepreneur. You have to be a business owner. You have to be a property owner. You have to be a land owner. You have to be a stockholder. You know what I'm saying? You have to have financial literacy. But those are the things that you have to do to become wealthy in America. Not working a 9-to-5 for people who believe in this type of system. You know what I'm saying? So it's changed over the years as far as the way America portray itself to the world, in the way that it was told that you could work your way from your bootstraps, literally. Like literally, you used to could work and save money and not have an investment, but you could just work and save money and make some in this world, in America. Not no more. You have to have investments. You have to have businesses. You have to have you have to be able to multitask. If you were going to come to America and think you're just going to work, then you're just going to be labor. You feel what I'm saying? You have to have people who, you have to have a business and employ people, or you know, where you get a bigger piece of the work of money for the work that you're doing. And that usually happens with entrepreneurship and not just working labor or a 9-to-5. Don't get it twisted. Work your 9-to-5 till you get you some capital to where you can invest in your dreams. But don't think that you're going to stay working at Walmart for the rest of your life and ride around in a Bentley in America. That's not going to happen. I don't care what country you come from. They make the cost of living just enough to where you'll just have enough to pay your bills and get by. But as far as like to take that next leap into to break them generational curses or create generational wealth, you will have to be an entrepreneur in America.
No, Your Honor, nothing from the state.
Anything from the defense?
We ask the jury be polled, Your Honor.
All defendants ask the jury be polled.
So,
Yo, you ready?
Dude, I'm in class.
So back to what I was saying. It's just sad that this young man had to lose his life in order to further this fight. He didn't know that him losing his life was going to he didn't know that his life would be a stepping stone in the fight of equality for minorities and people of color. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. It's sad that he had to be a martyr for this type of stuff to change, or for those guys to be held accountable for the way that they behave, for the way that they thought, for them being vehicles to perpetuate systemic racism. You see what I'm saying? It's just sad. And it's been hundreds and thousands of people along the way who've lost their lives in this fight. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's see. It's crazy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask each of you individually a set of 2 questions with respect to the verdicts that I have just read. If you could please respond when you hear your juror number. Juror number 1, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes, sir.
Juror number 2, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes, sir.
I can't. Okay, 2. Juror number 3, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes.
Juror number 4, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes, sir.
Juror number 5.
I'm sorry. So I'm watching the verdicts. I'm pretty sure all y'all have seen the verdicts. But I have to make a comment. Do you see the face of the defendants? Do you see how they looking all sad and all of this type of stuff? But y'all wasn't sad when y'all was running that man down, killing that man. Y'all thought for sure that the same police department that has perpetuated and helped y'all continue the way y'all behaved and thought with this community that y'all had developed of like-minded people. Now y'all looking sad, but y'all wasn't sad then because y'all thought y'all was invincible. Y'all thought that the police department was always gonna protect y'all. Y'all thought that this was just another N-word. Y'all thought that, hey, y'all could get away with doing this because y'all did not value Mr. Arbery's life like your own. You didn't value his life because that man that took nothing and y'all killed him. I'm pretty sure that the sentiment around that area was, hey, don't go over there, or hey, they feel a certain kind of way about people over there that don't look like them, or they have done things in the past to people who don't look like them, who come through there. Full disclosure, I lived in quite a few places, in my life, and I have ran across places when moving to other places. I've ran across places that wasn't welcome to people of color or minorities, and this was usually it's a neighborhood or a subdivision or a community that's adjacent to a community of impoverished, low income urban communities, and it's usually like a polar opposite. It's usually like they try to keep the people that they don't like on this side of the fence, and they keep them, and they like this themselves stay on that side of the fence. So, but this is America. It's a melting pot. People go where they go, and so they try to make it to where if you venture into their community for anything, to go to the store or to ride your bike or to walk your dog, or you have a couple friends might be in that neighborhood, because everybody don't feel that way in that community, they will show you the welcome committee. And what I mean is that, of course, a group of them will show up if you continue to come in this community, and they will see what you got going on. And it seems like this is what was going on in that community. If they saw somebody that didn't look like them, they was gonna jump down like the guard dogs, because that's the behavior that had developed in that community. You feel what I'm saying? And it's a bunch of communities like that all over the country. They still here. They got little pockets on them everywhere. And that's where these people who think that way go to be around people with like minds. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm trying to say. You feel what I'm saying? People congregate and click up with people who feel, look, or think the same way they do. And this is what's going on here. And I wouldn't even be surprised if some of the people that's the same system that's convicting them today, it's people that's in that system that's like, dang, man, they regretting having to do that. But see, the public outrage and the social media was a tool to make sure that this stuff doesn't go unnoticed, and that's what happened here. Kudos to social media, kudos to this new generation, kudos to people who don't agree with people being done this way, and this is what got this case this conviction. Because you best believe, if it wasn't social media, uh, if it wasn't this type of public outrage and people getting behind this case, you best believe they would have swept this under the rug. You best believe that that same police department that had harbored these type of people all these years and employed these type of people who thought this kind of way all these years would have helped these people out. It would have, because it was trying to, and initially they was trying to sweep things on the rug, slow the case down, do whatever they had to do in order to keep those people who felt like they felt and from their community safe, and to let the other people know that felt this way that, hey, y'all gonna be all right as long as we on watch. Y'all can continue to keep doing these things to people. Y'all can continue to keep thinking the way y'all think. Y'all can continue to keep violating people's rights, because this is our place. That's how they think. This is our place. We can do what we want to do, and that is what be perpetuated low key. That would be disseminated to people in that community, their relatives, their their friends, their family. This is what they do. They have subtle signs that let each other know how they really feel, and they congregate together, and they know nowadays they know that they can't just be openly that way. So they've developed a system to where they can, still do what they want to do, still talk how they still let each other know how that they feel the same, but at the same time, they know that they have to work. They know that they know that it's people that don't feel the way they feel, so they have to disguise it. And then they'll say little things to other people that they meet that look like them along the way to see if they agree with their thought process, and that's how they click up. That I done been around anybody who work in a field that is predominantly of them. Y'all know what we're talking about. And I'm trying to tap dance around saying what I'm saying because of YouTube. But if you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about.
You have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number
See what I'm
7.
saying? See what I'm saying? You got welcomed and jumped in by. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I've had similar situations when I was in middle school. I moved to a new area because my mama had some issues. She had some drug problems. So my family wanted to do like an intervention or whatever. So they came in and got my mama's sisters and them came and got us. You know what I'm saying? And they moved us to where my aunt lived, because my mama, they wanted to have a close watch on her, and they loved her, and they wanted to get her straight. Because she the 80s. You feel me? What happened to crack hair or whatever. And me as a kid, it was a new thing for me. I was like 10 years old or whatever. So when I moved to the little area, of course, it was like a little country town, because that's where a lot of these communities are. And the town connected to that town was a black town, which was where my mom and her sisters and my family lived, and that's where we settled in to live at. But the community adjacent to that was a community of like-minded people, like the ones that did this to Mr. Arbery. And immediately when I got there, the little kids let me know, we don't go over there. And I was like, why we don't go over there? They was like, we don't go over there because that's where them people at. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say no, offend nobody, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Them people there, the ones. And it made a certain air of fear in my mind as a child. And I had not had an issue with those people at that time. But at that point, when they told me that, it made that place, as a 10-year-old kid, it made that place look like a scary house, or a place where if I go over there, if I venture 1 foot across that line over there, that street over there, that something bad was going to happen to me. So we didn't go over there. We didn't go over there. I can't remember. I remember maybe once or twice. Oh, the school bus. The school bus used to go through there to drop off kids because we all had to go to the same schools. The kids of the people who felt this way, and the kids of the people who lived in that low impoverished, low budget community, urban community where my family lived. We all had to go to school together. So on the way home, the school would drop off the kids that those people kids in that area. Not one African American, not one Latino, not one person, kid of color, ever got off that bus stop to get into that community. It was all people who looked like them. And the kids of the people that look like them, who act like them, at school, I would notice that's what they would perpetuate. They would it had got to a point where they would try to bully the weaker minority kids, but us, we would come to their defense. You feel what I'm saying? We'd be like, woo woo, nope, they ain't going down. What y'all want to do? However y'all want to do it. And that's how this would go. So they were kind of empowered. They felt empowered. They kind of bullied. The only thing that saved them from just straight bullying all the minority kids was the fact that we wasn't going. You feel what I'm saying? We wasn't going. We ain't going like that though. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't start out as it wasn't the minority kids picking on them. It was them picking on the weaker minority kids, and then when they realized that we wasn't finna allow that to happen, that's what created another divide. And of course, eventually we had this big fight at school and all this type of shit. But it disseminated, it started from all those kids in that area. And I believe that happened because the way of thinking was being taught and perpetuated by the adults in that area. No kids wake up racist. None. And if you want to know the truth, if you want to see the proof in that, take a bunch of kids from different ethnicities, and let's just say they 5. Let's just say 5 years old. They're gonna play together. There's no way around it. They're gonna play. Now, I ain't talking about the normal kid shit where they, throw sticks or fight each other, whatever. I ain't talking about that. I'm just talking about they still gonna regularly play. And if the parents do not put their beliefs on those children will grow up to be friends. They'll grow up to be friends. If the parents disseminate that everybody is equal, that those are people too, that yeah, you can hang with those people. Yeah, those people are okay. Yeah, those kids are fine. Those kids will adopt that mentality and they will be friends. Not all of them ain't gonna be friends because not anybody is friends. But I bet you those kids will form some sort of kinship with the kids that don't look like them and everything, and they'll be friends as they grow on up. And that's just how kids do. But when you don't have that, it's because adults some sort of way done influence the kids to the point where the kids done started believing that, and then once the kids get a certain age, they're just gonna keep on doing what they was taught. And that's what's happening.
You have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 8, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 9, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 10, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
I'm sorry to hear that your son's father just was murdered. I'm sorry to hear that, man. My condolences go out to you and your family and your son, man, because, kids need their fathers, man. I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm a fair person. I'm a fair person. You feel me? And kids need their fathers. They need their mothers too. Cause all right, let me give you an example. So we all know that people don't get along a lot of the time once they been in a relationship and they break up. You feel me? But when you have kids, I learned that no matter what that person done, I don't care if that lady cheated on you, I don't care what happened, I don't care if she did whatever she did to you, the kids do not understand this. All the kids, especially if the kids, we talk about if you and somebody have a child together, and then, however it play out. I had to realize that there are no perfect parents. Period. There are no perfect parents. My mama wasn't perfect. My daddy wasn't perfect, but we love them anyway. You feel me? You love them for who they are. I'm not saying let your parents pull any wool over your eyes. I'm not saying let your parents take advantage of you. I'm not saying don't don't listen to your parents. But I'm saying you have to realize there's no perfect parents. So you realize that these people are just trying a lot of times to do what they think is best. Is it always what's best? No. But is there what they think is best? Yes. And once I realized that it wasn't no perfect parents, I stopped uh, being so hard on my children's mother, because I realized she was just trying to do the best that she can. And if she was not in those children's life, it would hurt them significantly. No matter if I was in their life by myself, it would hurt them being that she wasn't there. Same thing if the man, if because all the children know is that's my daddy, that's my mama. So when they see you and them arguing, their emotions are split, because sure, they love the mama, but they love the father too. So when two people who trying to co-parent or can't get along or have one child, when they bicker back and forth, it puts the child in a quagmire, because the mama gonna talk shit. Maybe she's not talking directly to the child, but she might be talking out loud or whatever, and the child hear that. Or the daddy gonna talk shit and he talking out loud and he hear that shit. You see what I'm saying? So and the children hear that shit. So it's just never not a good thing. It's just never a good thing to bicker, argue, and whatever back and forth, because the children need their parents, both of them. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes them whole. You feel what I'm saying? So for the fact that your child lost his father, I feel for that. I know a lot of children who have lost their fathers, who was my friends, who were my partners. And I remember hanging with them, with their children, with my children, doing birthdays. My children turned 3, 4. They bring their kids over, whatever. And for me to, for the time to go on, and then they get killed or they get put in jail, and those same children are similar, close to the same age as my child, but they don't have their father no more. Me personally, I always took it as I always took the time to, when one of my son's friends lost their fathers, I always took it up to let my child know, like, hey man, you know what I mean? Like, you have your father still. They don't have their father. Fathers are important. Mothers are important, and let's enjoy each other. Let's take advantage of the time that we have, because we don't know how much time we have. So that's how I always did it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But I want to jump into this Rittenhouse case for a second. The Rittenhouse case, we all know Kyle Rittenhouse went down to the riot and he got found not guilty. And we was like, wow, this guy for sure finna be found guilty. You know what I'm saying? We like, oh, he finna get found guilty. He had a chopper. He shot two mother people, whatever, how he be shot, killed such. This open and shut case. Lo and behold, this guy got found not guilty. So on one hand, where we got Ahmaud Arbery case where the people were found guilty, we also have now the Kyle Rittenhouse case where he just went down there and straight handled business and didn't get found guilty. I thought for sure Rittenhouse was gonna be found guilty, but when I look at the case and I look at what they used to say that he wasn't guilty, they worked the loophole. They worked the loophole. They worked it very well, and that's why we got to make sure we is knowing the law and we are in the right when we do what we do and even up the score against people who behave like this, who think like this, who perpetuate this sort of system. Well, they use as a loophole is that the guys actually chased him. One of the guys actually had a gun. Somebody threw something at him. So it was like, okay, they was trying to say he was acting in self-defense. Well, why you go down there with a big ass gun then? If you don't go down there with a gun, none of this don't happen. But at the same time, he had the right to go down there with the gun, being that it's not a felony to own an assault rifle if you're not a felon. So that's just a misdemeanor anyway. You feel what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out, did he take that gun across state lines? But he's not a felon though. You see what I'm saying? So it's a little different. It's a lot less serious of a crime. And being that, of course, you know, how he looks and how many people was actually, you know, attacking him or running, or put it this way, trying to stop him from doing whatever he was came down there to do. Because that's what I think them guys did. I think them guys was trying to stop him from doing whatever he came down there to do. You clearly are in opposition of the people who are protesting. I'm sure that they was able to pinpoint him out for that, because we know that you ain't down here saying, hell no, we won't go, hell no, we won't go. You down here on the opposite of that. So I'm sure that if I was a rioter or somebody who was protesting, you would stick out from the crowd, because you're not going to be going along with what everybody else saying. Plus you got a big ass gun on you. So I'm watching you off top anyways. You feel what I'm saying? So I mean, I think he added to it. I think if you don't go down there, none of this don't happen. And I think he went down there with the intent, of course, because we saw what happened. Hey, I'm finna get off if they even think. You know what I'm saying? He came down there for target practice, man. We all know, let me tell you something. When we do these type of protests and riots, we have been we done protested and rioted so much till we protest and riot damn near like it's scripted. It's not. I mean, every now and then we'll tell up a little something, but not really. Not really. We got us in the crowd saying, you know, we got people that's leading the protests. You have people with megaphones and people saying, don't do this, don't do that, but at the same time leading the chants. And I think it's common knowledge that we gonna do a lot of talking, but we ain't gonna too much mess up nothing. If we do, we're gonna mess up our own communities. So what I'm saying is, I'm thinking Rittenhouse went down there with a sense of security. Rittenhouse went down there like, hey man, I already know these dudes ain't finna they ain't finna be shooting at me. They ain't finna be doing all that. Cause now we have militant black groups, but militant black groups sometimes are not allowed in these protests and these riots because we so scared that they may add to the fire, to the fuel to the fire, so we don't invite these people, and that leaves us vulnerable to certain stuff like this. And plus, to be honest with you, black people, we just not getting up on arming ourselves and taking advantage of these rights and all of this type, as far as like the gun rights. Because black people really don't, contrary to popular belief, black people really don't like guns. Contrary to popular belief, we don't really like guns. The people that have guns a lot of times in the community, there'd be a certain different type of people. But I'm talking about like the regular black people. We really don't like guns. Black people think that they really want to just live life and do whatever they, live, have a good life and whatever, hang with their friends, party, whatever, have a little get-togethers, raise their family. That's for the most part what they want to do. You feel what I'm saying? So it's an overwhelming consensus that we know that the other side love guns. They love guns. They when the pandemic happened, all the ammo was bought up. A lot of the guns was bought up, and black folks saying, like, what the hell we trying to buy toilet paper. We trying to buy stuff for for food and stuff like that. We gonna be in our house for a long time, like like we in a hurricane or something. But them folks went out and bought bullets and guns. Why? Why? So that lets you know the thought process. That lets you know that they're thinking on a whole nother level about a whole nother set of situations, and we just think about surviving, pretty much. Pretty much. I'm finna get these comments though. I just wanted to talk about that for a second. Let's see, we don't get any comments. Just chill, y'all. We don't get any comments. I'm gonna get in them. Holler at y'all. Holler at y'all for a second. Okay. I feel like arguments between parents that are dating, married, they need to argue, debate when the kids are asleep. I agree. I agree. I agree. And don't get it twisted. None of us perfect. All of us done got called into that argument. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you feel like you're right. Hell, you might even be right. You feel what I'm saying? That's another thing I had to learn. And it's a process. But when you write, sometimes it's not. It's not even worth an argument. You feel what I'm saying? It just let ignorance be bliss. You feel what I'm saying? But a lot of times we love who we debating or arguing with, so we try to get our point across or let them understand where we're coming from. And those people, they ain't trying to hear that because they trying to do the same damn thing. And then you get to a situation when you get to an argument or you feel some sort of way because somebody don't feel the same way as you feel. But at the same time, and you might be right. But if you get to a point to where you feel like they're not, ain't nobody want to, listen to each other side, then hey, just let it go. Just let it go. But it gets sticky when the kids involved because what happens is a lot of times the decisions do affect the kids, and you have one person saying, "Hey, well, my child ain't finna go over there because they have such going on," and other parents saying, "Hey, them my children, and I can do what I want to do, and I say they're gonna be okay, and this and that," and then you get a power struggle. I know how it go. I know how it go. But parenting is harder. It is because you have more outside influence now on the children. Probably even before I was grown, it was more control over kids. You know what I mean? It wasn't even that much trouble to get into. You feel what I'm saying? Now you got 10, 11, 12-year-old kids getting into serious trouble, serious violence, even death. So times have changed, and we just have to adapt and change with the times because our kids are at stake. You feel what I'm saying? Their futures are at stake. And I don't know too many parents that really love their children that's not going to fight tooth and nail for their child to be here, be successful, and have a better life than we had. So that's how I feel about that, though. Straight up, though. Straight up, though. Hey, but let's switch let's switch lanes for a second here. I had wrote some notes because I want to talk to y'all about because stuff be going over my mind. I want to talk about the YouTube fans. I want to talk about not even YouTube fans, social media fans of these artists and all this. And I was thinking, I was like, when Mo3 passed, social media pretty much conducted an investigation about the case. If it wasn't for social media, I'm not sure that the guys that did that, the guy that did it, the Mo3, or guys, however you want to say it, I'm not sure that they would have been brought to justice because everybody was looking at the music industry for the people who supposed to have did that to Mo3. Everybody was looking at Trap Boy Freddy and Yellow Beezy and all of this type of stuff. And when it played out, it was just a situation of, well, a jealous situation where Mo was messing with somebody, and they had somebody that liked them, and they didn't like the fact that that man was messing with that woman, and then they did whatever they allegedly did, and they ain't got found guilty or convicted yet. But I mean, they got charged with, it, and they still going to jail, and they're still in jail, and they will be going to trial for that case, I assume, if they don't take a plea. But the point what I'm trying to make is, social media and the fans help solve that case. And I'm seeing the same thing with the young Dolph case. I'm seeing the same thing. And I thought about it. We are at the point where we're saying that these guys staying in the hood, being in the hood is what's causing a lot of their demises, and along with the things that they're engaging in and the people that they're hanging around, they're not actually leveling up to be productive, nonviolent, not in the streets, citizens, celebrities, as their job description would say that they should be. They indulging in similar activities that they indulged in before they became famous. And I understand all that. But my thing is, I'm noticing that the fans, damn, they're becoming the security of the rappers. And I'm explaining that. And I'm going to explain what I'm saying. So you see how they got a witch hunt out now for the alleged, people who they think did this to young Dolph. And again, I don't know who did this to young Dolph. All of this is shit, just internet shit, speculation and all that. But what I'm saying is, If I'm somebody that's thinking of doing something to somebody who's famous or somebody who's a celebrity or somebody who has a big following or somebody who has people that even just love them or care about them or a community that care about them to the point to where they're going to ride for them. If I'm somebody that's thinking about doing something to somebody like this, I think they need to check and slow down and slow down for a second, because it's getting to the point to where you can't do something to one of these people without the social media becoming in an uproar and hunting you down. They damn near done. Who that was they hunted out? They've been on the O Block situation. You feel what I'm saying? The social media, the fans, they putting clips together, they putting interviews together, they making social media posts about it. What I'm saying is, if I'm somebody that did something to some that want to do something to a celebrity now, I would really have a second thoughts about that, because it seems like the fans will make sure that you come to justice. That is what it's seeming like. That is what's happening here. And I want to put that out there because I want to make sure that somebody who potentially thinking about doing these type of situations or things to somebody who they might not like or they might be in beef in, I want you to realize that these people are destroying themselves in the process of getting their ops. Think about it. Think about it. The guys allegedly who did that LBG, the police think they have them. I don't know if they have them. I don't know if they're the guys. But I do know that they think that they have those guys. And I do know that if those guys are the guys, then it will play out that the disdain that they had for their ops also caused their demise, because they're facing criminal charges for this. And what happened was, it was outrage. It was public outrage. It was social media outrage about what happened to that man. And then that's what brought the investigation. And that's what led to these guys being put in jail for these certain situations. So why would I do that to that person? And I know that that might cause me to do the rest of my life in jail or get killed or whatever. And I'm putting that out there because I want people to understand that I would not be one of them people that want to go kill a rapper or do some shit like that, because it's his death, their death, or if this is the only thing that we got that we can deter you guys with, it should be that you don't want to do these things anyway. You don't want to kill nobody, want to take nobody away from you or whatever. But I'm just saying, say you got into some sort of situation where you just seeing red. I want you guys to pump your brakes and to really think about what may happen to you. Damn them. Don't even think about them, because we know you already don't like them. Think about yourself. Think about your children. Think about your family. Think about the freedoms that you may give up just because you hate that person. You don't like that person, or you and that perfect person got some beef. Think about it now. If you got a chance and you can let that shit go, let that shit go. I'm gonna give you a story, because I got a million of them. I knew a guy. Still know a guy. We was at a party. We was shooting dice. He got shot. He got in an argument with one of the guys from the block. But him and the guy from the block knowed each other since they was teenagers. They was same crew, same clique, same crew. You know how a dice game is, get hot. It's a party. You know what I mean? Everybody drunk, everybody looking good. I mean, it's a party and it's a dice game. It's different from a regular dice game just on a regular day, but it was a party of people and a dice game. That means it's a big dice game. That means big money dudes around the dice game. That means everybody just shooting dice, talking ish, whatever. We're having a good time. They get in an argument over dice, whatever happened. One of them shoot the other one. When he shot him, I think in the leg, shot him in the leg, right? So both of them thorough dudes. You know what I'm saying? Both of them thorough. The one that got shot in the leg, I did not think that he would. I thought that it was on. Once I saw him got shot in the leg, I was like, oh man, this finna be bad. Once he ever get out of the hospital or whatever, it's finna be war. You feel what I'm saying? But I knew if it was war, it would end with both of them something bad happened, because if the one that got shot got out and did something to the other one, I mean, it's so public. The shit was so public that, of course, he was going to go to jail. And then, that person got people that care about him, so they was going to tell on the other person or whatever. Lo and behold, when he got out of jail, he didn't do it. It was never a war. It was never a shootout. Of course, he was mad. Of course, it was words. Of course, it was whatever. But eventually, they got past it. They stayed on the same block. They stayed doing some sort of business together, and it blew over. And I looked at I knew him for a long time. So 10 years later, I was just happened to be around both of them, and both we was talking, laughing, and joking, and I brought it up. I said, damn, boy, I'm glad what that situation that happened between y'all didn't escalate. Cause look at y'all sitting right here laughing, joking, whatever, whatever. And that shit seemed so far ago, so soon, seemed so petty. And they were like, man, I'm glad too. And both of them was glad. Both of them was happy. Both of them was glad. And it was nothing. It was nothing. And I say all that to say this. I'm not saying that if somebody shoots you, let it go. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying if somebody shoots you, do something about it. I'm not saying that either. But I am saying that sometimes in life, especially as you get older and you realize you have valuable things to live for, you have people that care about you, and you realize your life has worth, and you don't want to be a statistic, you let things go. You hear what I'm saying? You let things go. I have a good bullshit meter, or I can tell the type of people that I don't need to be around. And I'm gonna tell you what I do. Sometimes it'll be guys. I've ran into guys who, for lack of word, bullies, for lack of better word, bullies. And I'm the type of person I like to get into it with bullies. I'm sorry. I don't like bullies at all. I don't like bullies. I despise them with a passion. And I like to get into it with bullies. I do because I got that protective uh thing about me. It's just something about me that wants to protect the weaker people. And I I get into it with a bully because I just don't like the way they operate. You feel what I'm saying? And it's just like I won't fight nobody or get into it with nobody that I feel like I can win. I like to take up for the people who can't take up for themselves. You feel what I'm saying? So that's just how I am with the whole situation, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I guess that's why I feel the way I feel about the certain situation. But I see how the fans have started riding for their favorite celebrities, and I'm just throwing that out there that if I was somebody that that want to do something to one of these celebrities or something like that, that I would think twice, because it seems to me the tide is that if you do something to some of these people, that you will inadvertently or unwittingly or maybe wittingly destroy yourself. You will bring yourself down. You have the Justice Department, you have police, you have the people, families that's going to tell, you have all kind of stuff to worry about. And I'm just saying, is it worth you bringing yourself down to destroy the people that you may be in opposition with? That's what I'm saying. I don't think so. Let me see. Oh, another thing I want to say. Nowadays, people don't care as much about life as uh, once before. Um, this is something that's like sweeping the country. As far as like with the youth, it's very new to everybody, but it's the predominant uh, vibe that the inner city urban younger generation have, and they gonna do something to you, and they doing it for fame, clout, notoriety, respect, all of those things, and when it's done, it's not a sense of remorse. It's not a sense of, well, I ain't gonna say that because some people, I'm pretty sure some people have a sense of remorse. But I'm saying it seems like people be a lot of times, these kids a lot of times be laughing about it, make songs about it, go on social media and talk a lot of stuff about the people that they doing these things to. And I never seen that before. I never saw where somebody could kill somebody. And first of all, the people that are doing these things are teenagers, preteens, mid-teens, you know what I'm saying? Early 20s on up. But I'm saying I never seen it where so many people could be doing these things and a lot of them don't value the life that they took or inadvertently the life that they had or have, because you gotta think you somebody baby. You think your mama wants you to be out there doing those type of things, taking somebody else's baby away from them. I know I don't want my babies to be taken away from me, and I don't want nobody else to, I don't want my baby to take away nobody else's children. So I preach that. You feel what I'm saying? But I do, so that's what I'm trying to say. I have never seen such young people who don't value life. It's scary. It's scary. At some time, this is way more scarier than in the 80s or the 90s. You feel what I'm saying? Like nowadays, these kids be looking like they school kids and they have 2 and 3 murders under their belt. And the parents be oblivious to it because they either single parents or they beefing on social media. And a lot of these parents are not monitoring their children's social media. You feel what I'm saying? And a lot of times they finding out about their children when the world do. When they go to jail and they read off the charges or they end up dead and then they find out these things that these children have done. A lot of these people be working. And if you work, you don't have time to really just be, you know what I'm saying, micromanaging your children. You know what I'm saying? So it's just all these things going on. And I'm just saying, I want the parents, I want the children, I want the people out here who seeing what's going on to be even more aware of what's going on. And I don't see it stopping no time soon. I do not see it stopping. I don't care how many of them demise. I don't care how many because we see these cases over and over and over. We see this stuff happen over and over. Today, this week is young Dolph. Next week it'll be somebody else, and that's the pattern that I see. That's the pattern that I see over and over and over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like it. I know y'all don't like it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I like to say rest in peace to everybody who passed or lose their life in these things, whether they was the alleged victim or was the alleged person who did these crimes, because I realize that these people are all somebody's babies. They all somebody's babies. They made the choice they made true, and of course how they grew up affected that as well. But I'm just saying, when you look at it all at its basic form, these are human beings. Whatever happened to them to change them, to make them the way that they are, I wish they weren't the way they are, or I wish that person wasn't dead. So we have to diagnose what's going on, and I'm just trying to bring awareness to the whole thing, because I don't want any other children to be hurt. I don't want to be hurt. I don't want no innocent people to be hurt or anything like that. But it takes a community to help change these things. You know what I'm saying? What else I want to talk about? Oh, allegedly, the guy who got on social media and dissed young Dolph was killed. I don't know if y'all remember. I think his name was D-Money. I think it was D-Money. He got killed. He made a social media post, and the post said, "This is not what I said. I just want to make sure y'all know this is not what I said. This is what D-Money said." And he said, "Man, I love my city. It's so gangster. These folks just killed Dolph." And when he said that, it was like laughing emojis and all this stuff behind it. Like, that's very, very insensitive. That's very insensitive. Let me tell you something, man. I never knew Dolph, don't know Dolph, but I promise you I feel some sort of way from Dolph dying. For real, I feel some sort of way. Like, I wish this man was still here. Like, I've been watching Dolph videos. I've been watching the making of Dumb and Dumber. I was already listening to Dolph before he passed anyway. But I'm saying, like, I have been overly paying attention to the things Dolph did and looking at Dolph videos, and I realized I'm like, damn, why am I doing that? It's because I feel some sort of way. It's because I'm somewhat mourning Dolph's passing. Now, can you imagine the people that growed up in the community that he grew up, people that he knew, the people that was some kin to him, the people that was some of his cousins and some of his relatives and all of that there? Can you imagine how them people feel in that area? So for D Money to get on social media and make a joke of this man's passing was poor taste at its best. You know what I'm saying? But it was wrong at its worst. It was definitely wrong. But for him to do that, and for it to cost him his life, it's just sad all around. You feel what I'm saying? It's just sad all around, and people need to stop playing with these situations. When I gave you my videos, listen, I realize life is relative. These videos just be like opinions. It be us talking about things that's on our mind that we want to talk about with other people who thinking about these things as well. But I always like to give it as a unbiased type situation. That's why I made the video talking about JoJo Splat and Straight Drop and MTZ. And I didn't want to, I'm not saying I defended them, but I did defend their rights to be. Let's make sure that if y'all gonna do what y'all gonna do, it's a lot of responsibility on y'all to make sure y'all get this shit right. If y'all gonna find out who did this to y'all favorite rapper or y'all favorite celebrity, or let's just say for Dolph, if y'all want to do all this, let's just make sure y'all doing this shit correctly. If y'all gonna do that, I will say this: I do understand that some people just want to stand up in the face of this type of stuff and want to bring justice to the family and want to bring them people who did this to justice. But I also want them to understand that you got to make sure that you ain't just falsely accusing nobody and then causing these folks that go through other situations because you is on a witch hunt. Do that mean that them boys is innocent? No. Do that mean they're guilty? No. And that's what I want you to understand. We don't know if them people guilty. So at this point, let them folks do their job. Let them folks do their job. And then and we'll see how far away it may. But if you don't have enough evidence to say that these people did this, I think that people should pump their brakes. And that's all I'm saying. And that's the same because I realized those are somebody's babies. You see what I'm saying? We saw MTZ go on a podcast and say his innocence. He said that his mama was talking to him about it, and he felt some kind of way, and he had to come on social media to clear his name. So what if y'all accusing the wrong person? That's all I was saying. That's all I was saying. That's it. Period. One blank. Long live Dolph. You feel what I'm saying? Long live Dolph. What else? But D Money. So I think D Money was not as aware of this as he should have been, and that's how he ended up in the situation where he ended up in. You feel what I'm saying? And it's just sad. It's just sad because I'm pretty sure I don't feel like that guy had anything to do with the situation, but he still was a victim and a residual casualty of the whole thing because of the words that came out his mouth. And it's so sad. It's just so sad. It's sad, man. It's sad. You know what I'm saying? When in the future, I have also seen that certain areas have like Miami, you go to Miami, you go to Chicago, and they all have stories about the people that came up in the areas, you know, that was with the shits. And I have those people as well. And a lot of those people are not here with us. And in the future, I'm gonna start bringing y'all videos, well put together videos about these people, because these people, the life that they live, I feel like their stories need to be told. Whether they good or bad, that's up for you to decide. You feel what I'm saying? But I do feel like these people Stories need to be told as a reminder, as a motivation, and as a deterrent for the younger people not to go this way or however you want to, put it. But I do want to tell these people stories, so I'm gonna be bringing these people stories to you in the future, and lay around for them. I just want to say that. I got interviews. Oh, another thing. I got interviews. I'm the man for the YNW Melly case. I just ain't put it all out there like that because um, my sources that I have, man, they in the late they are very close to the situation, and I have to make sure that I disseminate the information in a way that won't cause harm to anybody who's giving me the stories or the information. So that's all we working out now. I got interviews from people that's around the case coming. I have people who don't want to be that I be identified, but they want to disseminate information through me, and I'll be disseminating some of that information too in the public or whatever. And yeah, so I just want to lay around for it. Yeah, they convicted him. Yeah, they convicted him. I'm glad they got convicted. I'm glad they got convicted. It's that, like I say, any victory that we can take, that we can get in this fight, I'll take it. I'll take it. I have children, and I want them to live in a better place than I lived in. And that's our job, to make this place a better place for the people that come after us. You know what I'm saying? Because one day we gonna leave here, and if we didn't make this place, if we didn't try to make this place a better place than the place that we have today, then what was the point of us even, what was the point? We have children. We have children. We want to make sure that they don't have to go through some of the stuff that we went through. That's all I'm saying. Exist. They have to see that. Exactly. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. The Arbery case, it makes other people want to fight and not give up on other situations like this. Like a lot of times people like to be like, man, we can't do nothing, man. We can't do nothing. Them folks, this and that, they got this, they got it. They got the system on lock. But it takes a few brave people to stand up and fight and not care about the fact that they may not see the benefits of it, but that the future will be better. That's what the people, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all those people in the civil rights movement, that's what they was fighting for. That the hopes that it'll be a better future for the people that we love and that come behind us and that are our descendants and all of that. And we fighting. We fighting. Yeah, that judge did his thing. He did his thing. But I'm gonna say this too though. He had to. Because it was so much public outrage to, you know what I'm saying? He had to. Well, I ain't gonna say he had to, because the ones in the Rittenhouse case didn't do it. So you're right. We'll give that judge credit. We'll give him credit. Maybe that'll help him to continue to give correct verdicts on these type of situations. You feel what I'm saying? Maybe that changed him too. And I'm gonna tell you another thing I learned too. When I run into racist people, especially, I never really encountered racism until I started working. Never. When I started working, that's when I realized it is a system to a systemic racism. I never had to deal with it because, of course, we stayed in our own communities. So the only time we experienced racism was through the police. You see what I'm saying? That's the only time. But when I went to work, and I really did see. And I'm gonna tell you what I learned about racist people. I like to disarm them. As long as because a lot of times people ain't running up calling you the N-word, or people ain't running nowadays. They got like finesse about it. They promote the people that look like them at work, or they are a little harder on you at work, or they put little roadblocks in your way to get into where you want to go in life. And a lot of times those do the systemic racism. That's how they do it now. It's like finesse. It's like, why I would never do such a thing. I have a lot of friends that look like you. That's how they play it. You feel what I'm saying? So what I learned how I do those type of people is I play dumb for a second. Like I got people that I work with that I feel like they think different. But what I do is I play dumb. I be like real kind of like talking to them, you know what I'm saying, and try to play like, you know what I'm saying, I don't feel that way about them. And what happens is, I notice a lot of times they be afraid. A lot of times they're afraid of us, and they're afraid. And it's sad that we have to disarm ourselves in order to be able to, you know what I'm saying, to make a dialogue. But I figure like, okay, if I can show this person that we are just regular people, just like they is, maybe I can change their thought process, and maybe they'll disseminate that to their kids. I might can't do it with their mamas and their grandmamas and all of that, but if I can make them feel that the way they think is not all the way right, and usually that start with one black friend. That's where they usually start at. It usually start with them having one black friend, and even though that black friend don't, even though they look at that black friend as like, oh, he's not like the rest, it still starts to reverse that way they think about all black people. And what they do is what they do is that makes them give another black person a chance. You feel what I'm saying? Or another minority the chance. And then what happens is their children are not taught as strictly on that thought process as they were, and then it just disseminates. And especially with the hip hop culture, we just seen these boys. What are the island boys trying to make it? Those people want to be black. I'm just trying to say it. People want to be black. They want to be black. So that is going to force racism to a certain extent out too. A little bit, not all the way, but it's just a little start. All of these things have to be little bit until it comes something big. But that's how I like to do them or whatever. Now, don't get it twisted. If they come straight out and they say what they is at the same time, okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. I can respect that too. I tell you another thing. I'd rather somebody be openly thinking a certain kind of way than to hide it. If that's what you buy, don't hide it now, because I want to know. If you really real, if you really standing on what you standing on now. So if you really feel that way about a certain demographic of people, stand on that shit, so we know who you is. You feel what I'm saying? Don't be trying to be hiding. Don't be trying to play like you cool and you ain't. Stand on that shit. Make sure you on the other side of that goddamn aisle. That's how I like to have it. Yeah, they make up false narratives. Oh, I never understood that either. I never understood that. I understood that. I'm gonna tell you what I did. I'm such a what do they call this? I'm such a person who try to like change people for the better. So full disclosure, went to work one day, and a lot of the Latino people I had worked construction at this time. A lot of the Latino people I worked with was from Mexico. And the fathers worked there, and the sons worked there. The sons was more in my age. The fathers, of course, was older than me. And I kind of hit it off with the sons. You know what I'm saying? I hit it off with them very well. A lot of the Latino sons, I hit it off with them. They liked me. I liked them. So, but I noticed that the fathers was a little standoffish. The fathers was a little that type. So I went on Google, and I Googled what are the nationalities, that the demographics that make up certain nationalities. And I did this on my Mexican brothers. And I found that it was Mesozoic Indians, Spaniard, and African. That's what makes Mexican, the Mexican demographic. And I went back to work, and I showed it to the younger ones. And they looked at it on Google, and they was like, cool. You know what I mean? They was like, cool, that's what's up, cool. When I showed it to the older ones, woo, do you they didn't say, because I was their boss too. I was a foreman at the time, so I was their boss. They were carpenters. But they did not like that. They did not like that I had found evidence that said that they were our cousins, brothers. You know what I mean? They didn't like that. They felt they wanted to remain separate. They wanted their ethnicity to remain separate. And when I brought it to them that we were the same, they didn't want to digest that. The younger ones digested that way better, way quicker, because they was already ingratiated with the hip hop community. They already liked the coolness of it. And but the older ones, man, the ones who come from come from Mexico, and probably don't know as much English, but know a little bit, and they didn't like it. They didn't like it. So I stopped. I never said anything else about it or whatever. I had proved my point. You feel what I'm saying? So whether they didn't digest the facts or whatever, the facts is y'all still our cousins, our brothers, and we related, and we all the same people. So you know what I mean? Stop that. That's what I was doing. That's what I was doing. But I'm finna get up out of here, man. I just want to jump on this live to touch on those little subjects, man. Y'all subscribe. You know what I mean? Share this channel. You know what I mean? I'll be going live again tomorrow. I'm trying to go live every day. I mean, I have other stuff I be going on. I got a job. I got a couple businesses that I be trying to run or whatever. And tomorrow, and the day is Thanksgiving, man. But that's why I jumped on this live, because I don't know if I'm gonna have time to jump on live and talk to y'all tomorrow. So I just wanted to make sure that I disseminate some of these thoughts. But listen, subscribe. Listen, I'm gonna keep giving y'all the heat. Listen, man, I'm gonna keep giving y'all the heat. I'm gonna keep doing this. I got stories, I got interviews. It's gonna get greater later. You feel what I'm saying? I got merch coming. You know what I'm saying? All kind of stuff, man. I'm gonna let y'all in on a little bit more of my life as what's going on. As we get these subs up, we're gonna switch this thing to Instagram and Twitch and bunch of more platforms or whatever. But I'm gone.